What the juck is up, everybody? Jando here, back at it with another video. But I'll do a little mini series of what each stage of Ctene progress actually looks like. So we'll be showcasing the Lynn today, and the Lynn is a unique position where it is at stage 3. Everything's Star Force, everything's cubed. However, it's missing some large CP sources and damage sources, which is included the Twilight Mark, the Slime Ring, the Roar, and of course, rentals not being a thing. So it is in probably the slowest it's ever been. Well, it was slower last week, but it's still somewhat slow because it still doesn't have access to any of these options. So a brief overview of where the Lynn is at currently. So the Lynn is 267, sitting at 75-ish CP, I'm rounding up. And it has about 325 frags invested. Lynn is actually quite nice, as you only really need masteries. So you don't need to activate these. You don't need to activate this. So you're saving, what? That's 200 frags you're saving, which is quite nice. And there's also a case where you can just up the burb to gain crazy FD. Both these are basically all your damage. As for the Lynn's in also has an even bigger handicap, as it doesn't even have a superior belt yet. It is rocking a 22-star epic reinforced, and I'm probably going to have to pity into buying a sub belt from the shop. I think I've got like 5 days left. But I wanted to showcase how rough it is on this kind of invested character. And you can see that we're running drop gear for the 4th ring slot and his face. I keep getting these confused. It's the face slot. There we go. Cool. So, what does Maple Scouter say? So, Maple Scouter, I inputted the numbers of Lynn, and it spit out these values here. And we can assume that 100% equals a 30-minute min clear if you're a Shadower. I think that's how Maple Scouter does the calculations. So, you can try and like extrapolate, and I think if it's not chopped, I have a rough guesstimate of how long each run quote unquote should be. So Verus Hilla should be 9 minutes 27 seconds, Darknell should be 8:42, so on and so forth. Or off the gate, Will is not 6 minutes because Will just say fuck off and will not allow you to attack him with his magnitudes of iframes. Same with the Gloom. Gloom, you're entering with a 2-minute buffer anyway, where you can't do shit. Of course, Slime has tests. Lucid goes AFK half the fight. To a lesser degree, even Darknell does as well. I think Lotus is like the only one where you really have 100% uptime with nothing really affecting what you do. Same with Verus Hilla. Verus Hilla is kind of the same. Like her iframes is like 5 seconds. Darknell, you know what? Darknell is a G as well. He doesn't really disappear. So we'll see how these values equate. But before we dive into that, let's actually see what stage 3 means. So we bring up the... there we go. So this is what I consider stage 3. Everything's cubed for a roughly fake 3 line. Everything's 21 starred. And we have 2 to 3 line on WSE. And most gear is either 2 to 3 lined, or etc. And we are... if I can actually find where I've put all this. So to upgrade, we obviously need to get the Twilight Mark, get a Slime Ring, to go to the Dawn set, and then we go Liberate, and then we get H2 Go Crazy. So I've updated this slightly, but mainly is to create a segment that tiers. This is when you're, this is the first Star Force, and then we cube everything. Anyway, so we're stuck in this spot, and I want to showcase just, I guess, not how rough it is. Look, it's not rough. It's not like this is 30 minutes per boss, and then if we fail, we have to run again. Nothing like that. I still think it's an acceptable clear. But that's enough yapping from my part. Let's actually go into the VOD that I have prepared. Like this one. There we go. There's the Lynn. We start it up, and we have a cheeky little live split here to keep track of what we do. So first up is you're sitting with the buffs, getting the money ready to buy all the elixirs. Need a shit ton of these things, because without them, yeah, you definitely feel the damage. Already incurring a penalty in time because I forgot to activate G skills. Looking forward to when this change happens in Crown. as we go back and prepare for the first boss. Now, initially, I like doing the hardest first. I like going Verus Hilla, Darknell, and going down the list that way. Get the hard ones done first, so everything else is easier. And you get more mileage out of the elixirs. However, for a stage 3 character, especially the Lynn in this case, it would a map or a berserk, the slime ring or the twilight mark, it will go far. That's a huge damage increase that if I get it first, I can then cube it, star force it, and then just get a cheeky little damage boost to make the others easier. So for the Lynn itself, I'll be doing those first until some of those drop. Now it's a little wishful thinking getting a map or a berserk, but hey, we go for gold here, okay? So yeah, you'll see that I'll do Damien Lotus, Lucid Slime, and then the last one is wrong. We do Commander William after Gloom, and so on and so forth. But I added this while doing these bosses, so you'll see me int a couple times. But you can see that Damien's off to a great start. It's already like a 2.5 minute phase 1, so it's not too bad. And I honestly, when it comes to Damien, I just throw my body at him because it's like I'm not gonna go through all 10 lives, and I just want him dead. So we'll go even faster because look, it's Damien. I'm sure you guys have killed Damien before, and it's fun seeing the game. It's such fast speeds. But yeah, Lynn is rather simple to play. Most of your damage is coming from your actives, so your toggles. You have the wolf, the bird, which is the best one, and then of course mana overload. So we kill it, we get nothing, of course. I think we get a cheeky little episode box, which is just basically useless. Jump into Lotus. I need to include the time of how long it actually took, because you see the total time here, and I haven't actually mapped it out of how long each one took. But hey, we can see it on the side there as we get through Lotus. Another big thing on why doing the easier bosses first is that there's a chance to get a ring box. And the sooner we get a ring box, the higher the chance we can get a raw or a cont or anything useful. Weapon jump is also great. The others, not so much. I prefer the 3 I just said. But Lotus is probably the quickest. Looking like to be a 4-minute clear. I am recording like from the moment I kill a boss going into the next one. Lotus dead, of course we get absolutely nothing. And I also play even on a harder mode as I don't have a pet with auto heal on the Lynn. I'm waiting for cast transfer. So I'm actually manually pressing the heal button, which is, I know, unheard of. But we jump into Lucid, and Lucid's probably the first one where it's a little challenging, as we have to, I think, 2-burst phase 1, which is, look, the Ctene Mule will grow, it gets faster. This is, of course, pre-libbed, no Ozring, still no slime ring, so yeah, there is a lot of gains to be made, yet we're still actually doing or clearing these things in a respectable amount of time. You can see the buff there, it's been 12 minutes already. As I completely, you're going to see me just fail a lot of dodges here. The phase 1 was actually pretty quick, 2.5 minutes, not too bad. I did do a second burst there, which is unideal. And Lynn has the, Lynn is interesting. Her origin is, like, I swear the origin heals the boss, but the bird it summons does, like, true damage or some shit is how they've balanced this thing. But yeah, actually remaining top of on the boss and just hitting it with the bear attack is like, it's not all your damage, it's all in the bird. But I think the best thing about Lynn is its dash. Its dash is very responsive. I just wish it wasn't on a charge system. I've like killed myself because I've ran out of charges when I thought I had charges. It's just that good. You want to keep using it. Its backstep though is a little finicky. I haven't gotten used to it as there is a crazy delay when you use it, and it doesn't actually move you that far either. I can showcase it in Will when Will's time arrives, but it's a little difficult. Yeah, I do lose it first because it is technically faster than Slime. Slime is rough without the Arcane Force boost. But you can see here that I actually just used Origin and Ascents, and I managed to clear phase 3, which is quite nice. So it still had a lot of damage to clear it. That's why I like activating Ascents on these Ctene Mules. Is like it's a great way to puncture the phase 3 Lucid without having to wait 2 minutes for another burst. So that was roughly, what, a 10 minute? 9-ish minutes I should really have gotten these values for Lucid. He would have made this much better. But then we get Slime. Slime is a annoying. It's an okay fight. It's just sometimes you can get locked in animation when you know you want to jump, but you can't jump because you're locked in animation because only certain classes can move while using the meta attack, which is... I won't get into that. So it was, what, 18% damage within the first segment? And then we can go again. Oh, you'll also see me, especially on Lynn, just fat finger. I open up Whisper sometimes, I open up character sheet or the boss menu. I definitely need to do some work on the keybinds for at least bossing on those characters. It's very ideal to make sure your hotkeys are optimal. So not much to talk about Slime. Slime is rather just like, you just try and hit him. Like, look, the objective of any boss is kill them before they kill you. And yeah, you can get a little complacent. Well, I get a little complacent on these fights. But I usually always up jump, bind again after the little self-stun Slime does. There we go. I pressed the guild key by accident. What? Lynn has a heal on a 30-second cooldown? I don't remember. You can always press just in case, which is a nice use in case of emergencies. Got the the yellow slime, so I didn't have to block any doors, which is good. Well, didn't have to block the one I set up for. This is the second origin burst. Ideally, this is when I want to phase out of slime, doing that 2 burst, that 2 origins. That's the sweet spot. 6 minutes per boss is actually quite nice. Then we get to play this mini. I kind of like this mini game. It's look, it's annoying, but at least there's some enjoyment out of it. I'm also racing against the clock of the first 30 minutes of these buffs. Got about 2 minutes left on the mole. Oh yeah, did you see that? I ascented and I died. So I don't enjoy how long it takes for an ascent to actually come out. It's not a reliable iframe. It's like you have to be... It's basically you have to like know the attack's coming and like intentionally block it rather than like reactively block it because of that delay. And I'm also playing on Aussie ping, so it's like, what can you do on 160 ping? Maybe if I was lower, I could actually use reactive ascents. There we go. 12-minute clear. I managed to do it before all of the buffs wear off. And again, no slime ring, which is... it hurts. So there was no Twilight from Lucid, no slime ring from Slime. And here I'm thinking, what do I do? I don't know. I was just rebuffing. And I immediately go into Gloom. Sorry, I go into Will, thinking that's the next target. And I'm like, fuck, Will's going to be an issue. So I juice up, get the MVP buff, get the Zac buff. And I'm looking at my splits, I'm like, shit, I was supposed to do Gloom. Why did I put Gloom there? I could just do Will. So I could get that Twilight mark. To be fair, Gloom's also free, and Gloom could drop an ET, and that's also a major gain. Now, it's annoying with the current spec on the Lynn. I do have to burst. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-minute clear on each phase, which is kind of annoying. And it's going to be quick here, but you'll see me also trying to use the backdash to try and get through that attack Will does that one-shots you, and not enough. Well, my timing's off, but yeah, it's difficult. And that was a tilter. That was an extreme tilter. So I died there because I was trying to change the splits, and I didn't realize I was going to get spawned into a million fucking balls. But we keep going. Oh, you'll see does the game pause when I try and change the splits here? But yeah, don't recommend being distracted of doing Will. Will fuck you up if you don't give him the respect he needs. We make it out. 5-minute phase 1. Not the worst. And I switch to healing fams for phase 2. Now, phase 2, this one's annoying. I instantly die because he pushes me, can't react, can't move because I'm like stun locked. So I just take the L, lose a life. But I do burst and get rid of... You can't see where I am, but quickly do the cheeky test. And I think I try and DPS him out of part 2. But I am liberally using dashes to try and avoid Will's attacks. And then I will try and use the Ascents to try and like remain alive and just chunk him out to and phase him. And then we get to phase 3. Phase 3 is a race against the clock. Because it's particularly... it's both a good thing and a bad thing being on a DPM class. Like, if you just burst it, you can just like instantly end this fight. With Lynn, you're mainly DPM. So there we go. That was one full burst with Origin. Only got him to 50% HP. And now I have to try and dodge him. And this is actually a lot easier than it used to be. It used to be much harder. And this only is going to get easier as I get more and more. Get stronger. So I do my best to try and avoid everything so I can build up gauge, so I can clear the webs. Also trying to kill him. But it ends up to being, what, 8 and 11? It's like an 11-minute fight. Not too bad. And absolutely nothing from Will. Thanks, William. So they're all the like easy gains gone. Now we move on to Ctene itself. Gloom is fairly straightforward. It's kind of a snooze fight, and it's how Gloom actually gets you. If you don't pay attention to Gloom, that's when he will sneak out a kill onto you. So if you don't respect it, that's how he gets you. I don't know why I do it, but I use Origin to try and it doesn't use its laser. But look, I only got him to 80% through on burst. Don't have the juice yet to get him to open. Get him to that 70% mark. I do my best to dodge darkness. And it worked out pretty well. And now I didn't respect the open, so I just pay for my life. But hey, it's okay. We have plenty of lives to play with, even though I've gone through 2 already. Yeah, Gloom is very straightforward. Avoid the balls. Do as much damage as possible when he's open, and then dodging simulator for like a minute. So I do have to say, watching the game at super speed is a lot of fun. So what? We're nearly... Oh no, it's a little skewed because it's like 6 minutes into the fight, but we've only used one Origin burst. It's because Gloom's fucking closed for the first 2 minutes. There is a case that when you're yet far enough in progression, you start getting your Ctene Mule's Ascents to like a level 9. I think it might need to be like level 19. You have enough juice. Maybe a little lower than that to be able to open Ctene. Might have to do some math to see what viable CP, like if these things finish at like 140, 150 CP, how strong does the Ascent need to be to open Gloom? Because that's 2 minutes across like 7 characters. Hey, setting 14 minutes a week, it adds up. It adds up. And it makes all the other bosses easier as well, when you just nuke them with Ascents. All right, getting a little close for comfort here. I do not wipe if you think I am going to. Look, I use lives as a resource. I am also rocking Resistant Link as well, just to make things a little easier. So, Gloom dead. We make sure we buff up. We use Legion. And look at that. Gloom blesses us with a ring box. Could this be? Do we find some relief, a reprieve? And would you look at that? Oh, I'm happy. That's a raw 3. That is good stuff. That is a massive improvement to weeklies on this character. Major dub. Even though it's a raw 3, only a raw 3, this is still a massive improvement. So right now, what I do is I only have 4 minutes left on VIP. So I'm like, well, it's not enough to do Darknell or Verus Hilla. So you know what? I'll do all the baby bosses, get them over and done with. And at the same time, I'm freaking out because shit, my splits, they're not matching what I'm doing. So it's like, what do I do? But I do fix it. So let's speed up so we get rid of these big bosses. Like, look, we all one-shot these. It's fine. So I call it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pause. I'm going to fix the sidebar. And then we'll go forward. Can we go even faster as we just go through all this downtime? Come on, hurry up. Fix it. I end up just like making them one category. All right. So we burst and go all the way through these baby bosses. A sense just one-shot them, which is kind of nice. In and out. TPAP is OP because he requires 2 ascents to be killed. Like, god damn. Then I realize I have the roll on my drop set. All right. Now we finish up with Zach, and then we can do the final 2 Darknell and V Hilla. But we have a Raw 3 now. So actually seeing this in a chopped format is going to be a little difficult. Which I have the technology. I somehow predicted this and recorded last week's run. So we will go to the next screen. Boom. And then we minimize this. We don't want that. There we go. Make sure this is what we want. And then we go boom. Boom. Oh, this is spoilers. What am I doing? Stop. Don't look at the screen. All right. This is so unprofessional. All right. Let's get these poised. We're watching the full fight. All right. I knew I forgot something before pressing record. All right. Boom. And then... All right. Cool. Play this one. And then... All right. We're synced. Are we synced? Of course. All right. Why do these... You know what? It's all ruined. I'm already 21 minutes into the video. We'll deal with this. All right, let's actually speed these up. This is... There we go. All right, Darknell. Darknell is... I used to get gapped by Darknell, but I've gotten a lot better at him. The playstyle is that you hit him whenever he uses the move, you flash jump to reposition to dodge the elites. Rinse, repeat. You can duck its dash, and you can like basically be on the greatsword when he's using that attack. So you just try and get him away from the corner. The corner is also both a bad spot and a really good spot, because both the archer and the mage can't hit you in the corner if you spawn where the archer is. All right, but yes, if it's not obvious, the left-hand side is this week's run. Right-hand side is last week's run without the raw. So rawless. With a raw. All right, and you can't fucking see shit. So I'm going to perch up from my chair, do a live commentary of the run. So currently the raw run is about 3-ish% ahead. And you can also see me fat finger. And int. I usually use deaths in Darknell to be like, okay, refocus, recalm myself. Don't let the absurdity, what's happening on the screen, get the better of me. And this is like nerf Darknell, and I never learnt Darknell when he also dropped meteors, which is just ridiculous that he actually did drop meteors. But it's a lot of dash into flash jump to do a little bunny hop on the Lynn whenever I see an attack. I don't like pay attention on like who he spawns in front of him. It's usually thief, warrior, or he does like the archer, purple attack. I usually just jump away in a random direction that I see fit and just hope for the best. Which is why you do see me get hit by the thief boss, the elite boss. Alright, so we're about to enter the second burst, which will increase the discrepancy, differences between the two runs. So we're now sitting at, it's about a 6% lead now that the raw run has. And it's getting a little dicey for the rawless run. I'm at 2 lives left, but I still have nearly over half the boss. Well, just under half the boss to go. Meanwhile, with the raw, I have 3 lives left. I use this time to take a breather, make sure I lock in. I'm also waiting for cooldowns, which again does extend the run artificially. If I was attacking the boss 100% of the time, it would be different. We are getting close to a the burst. There it is. This is the origin burst. This is the second origin burst. Uh-oh. 1 life left without the raw run. Time to lock in. 30% left of the boss. That's 2 more bursts to go. They're approaching the 8-minute mark, getting down to 20%. With it, still the 6% lead has roughly remained the same throughout the run. But again, some of that could also be because I used strategic deaths to take a pause. It would have been better if I did do a BA for both runs to get that information as well. But on the right-hand side, I'm locked in, trying to get this clear. Do not want to run again. You want to go minus 9 minutes to my life. Make it close with the raw, dying at the end there. Alright, but it does seem we have it in the bag with the raw at about, what, 2 minutes 30? So it's a 9.5 minute run. 9.5 minutes. Whereas the other side's still going. So we'll pause this side just to see the full run on without the raw. Yeah, spoiler alert, I do clear. I do manage to lock in for the last remaining 30%, but I am laser focused. It's like, I am not running this again. I am clearing it right now. So it's looking like 1 minute, about 65 seconds saved. This one again. So the Raw 3 increased or decreased Darknell time by about 65 seconds. Which, hey, that's pretty good. For 1 drop to save 1 minute on a boss, we take those. So that can get even greater. Like if we grab we also get another ring box, but it's just garbage. Alright, now we're on to V Hilla. V Hilla is the hardest boss of Ctene. Let's see if these line up. So was that, and then play. We gotta pause this one for a bit. Ha! Alright, they're basically synced. Alright, let's see now. This is one fight I didn't look. I did have a cheeky peek at Darknell beforehand to see if the setup did work. Now for V Hilla. V Hilla is a beast of a boss because you have to lock in for the entire. It's kind of like Darknell as well, where you just kind of have to lock in for the entire thing. Because if you snooze at any point during the fight, you can just life out and just die. Now, I did have a pretty remarkable rawless run here on the right. I did lock in for the entire thing. I was laser focused. I even made sure I try to do all my bursts with the FD boost you get from cleansing. So we'll see the differences in terms. Oh my god, I've got the big fat BA. I did do a BA for this one, but I don't think I actually took stock of it. Let's see here. Can I have a look between? I'm actually doing pretty damn well, I think. It'll be interesting to see just how good a locked-in run compared to a random run with a Raw 3. It wasn't as locked in for the one on the left. It's only a 2% lead at the moment for the Raw. Not even. It's like neck and neck. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I'm like I'm like a foot away from my screen trying to see the values. But no, they are identical. Look, this goes to show you just how much damage you can get when you lock in and try and do 100% upkeep on the boss. Like, there is a lot of damage lost by just doing absolutely nothing in a fight. This is where actually practicing the boss can pay dividends if you are doing a time-based run. So both bosses are around about 60%. I can't believe just how, how much better the run on the right is. It's actually doing... Oh, it's basically the same. It's neck and neck still. The Rawless has a slight edge, which is just ridiculous. I think it would be a bit more apparent on like burst heavy classes of like which one is more potent than the other. Like if I was doing this on Hydo, for instance, a run without a Raw 3 or just a Raw in general would be pretty damn significant. But yeah, right now, Rawless run on the right, ahead by, it's like 0.4%. Actually, the Raw run just took a slight lead. This means so much better if you can actually see the values here. Hey, look, this is a chopped Ctene run. It's fine. Just chopped VOD review as well. Yippee. Okay, one important thing to note is both runs, I still have the elixir door. Even though I've lost one skull on the right here, I think I'm about to lose one skull on the left. We've finally broken a small lead. We're about a 1% lead now. There we go. We've evened up the skulls. Nice though. I get to see how long I've actually been in this fight for. To be fair, just look at the time. The BA started a little later than the actual fight because we're already 8 minutes into the fight. But the BA say 7 minutes. All right, down to the final 30%, and oh my god, the Rawless run has taken a significant lead here. But we have the Raw burst. I did look on the Lynn class Discord, but a Raw 3 or a Raw, ideally Raw 4 or more, whatever you can get your hands on, is the best for Lynn. It did get a lot more of its damage into burst thanks to its new masteries. We're approaching the end here. Still 10 minutes into the run, and okay, the raw run on the right. God, the Raw one on the right, 2% lead. But it's definitely much closer than the Ctene, sorry, the Darknell fight was. But not too much of a significant difference. Actually, it's so tight. It is neck and neck. But yeah, this is just, look, this is just a showcase just how good the hand stat is. You lock in, you can match someone with better gear. There we go. Actually, never mind. We nearly throw the run on the left here, but we clear at 12 minutes on the Raw run, and it takes 12 minutes 30? 12 minutes 30. So 30 seconds saved. Even though I played immaculately on the right-hand side, you still can't beat damage. You can't beat damage. All right. And of course, both boxes net me nothing. As usual. Thanks, Nexon. But you can see that the Raw 3 was definitely a big pick-me-up. And we can pause this and go back to the main screen. What time is it? We're at 1:26. Go back to full screen. And boom. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, can you be quiet? Get it off mute. All right. Action replay of the box being broken. But we can speed up the final segment here. But yes, that concludes the showcase of the Lynn current prog doing Ctene. It's just under 90 minutes, including selling crystals and whatnot. So we get the 5 big ones, and then we store any of the juice we got from mainly just the MVPs, the cubes. All that goes into storage, and you can see how long it takes to unlock all the MVPs. You get a shit ton of MVPs doing this, doing Ctene Mules. And I think that's time. I'll wait until I throw in the money. And that's time. 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 51 seconds for a stage 3 Ctene Mule. And not too bad. Doing it in, like, that's what, 1.5 VIPs, 3 30-minute coupons. It's not bad. And obviously, it's going to get much faster when we have Twilight, Dawn, 2-set Dawn set. This thing can grab fucking Superior Belt, and then it can also lib and just go crazy. Yes, that will do it for the... This is what, probably part 1 of the miniseries. Next one will be with either the Shade or the Dawn Warrior, who has Twilight gear, has Raws, and you can see the improvements those make. But as always, thank you all for watching, and of course, have a fucking good day. Catch you all in the next one.